Today I had a very interesting encounter with a lovely lady. We met and she told me her name, I told her mine, and then she started talking. I can't remember about what, but I listened and I tried to participate. And then somewhere in the middle of our conversation, she asked me, "And what do you do?" And I said, "I'm a psychiatrist." He said, "Oh, you deal with mental issues?" And I said, "Yes." "But you also read people's minds?" I said, "Not really." I said, "Can you read mine?" I said, "Okay." And then the next sentence was, "I'm a very noisy person." I was wondering if that's a warning for me, but I continued listening to her. And then she went on to just explain to me just what makes her noisy, or what kind of things she engages in that makes her noisy. And I started understanding what she was talking about, except she wasn't bringing out the noisy part. So at the end of it, I don't know where we had reached in that conversation, but it became quite appropriate for me to ask, "You don't like yourself very much," as part of the evaluation that she told me to make. And she said, "No." In fact, very emphatically, she said, "No, I love myself. I like myself. I love my body. I like to take care of myself. I do this and that." And she went on and I said, "But if you like yourself, then why would you use a negative adjective to describe yourself? Why would you say you're noisy?" A person who likes themselves would say, "I'm chatty, I'm conversational, maybe even talkative," but they would not use noisy. And so I wanted to understand, where was the noise coming from? What was making her noisy? And she continued defending that she really likes herself. I said, "Then maybe you are conflicted about how you feel about that behavior that makes you noisy, or you dislike that behavior to the point that you've given it a totally negative adjective to describe it." That got her to start thinking, and she was evaluating herself against that point. And then she started saying, "When I'm around people, I don't feel very comfortable. And I have this urge to talk and talk and talk, or to run the conversation, especially if no one else is talking, just to not have that silence. I can't stand silence when I'm around people. People have to talk." And so she finds different points of conversation that she can bring to the attention of people, and sometimes she finds herself talking for very long periods of time that it annoys people, and those people have actually told her. So I was wondering if maybe that part of irritating or annoying people was what she calls noisy, because she brings that out of people. She hadn't seen it that way. But also the noisy was because she felt it inside. She didn't want to be that noisy, that chatty, that conversational, but it was more uncomfortable to be in silence than to be in the talking. And so the less dreadful thing was to just keep talking in conversations. And so that is what she meant, I think, by noise. So after a bit of talking about it, we came to the conclusion that now that you've become aware that you're using the word noisy to describe a trait that you think you like but really you dislike, when you're in the next interaction with a person, are you still going to call yourself noisy?